Put the chair, sit down. Don't rush. Let's make sure we're doing all right. You got 15, 20 minutes. You're right here. Now sit down and take the microphone. Put it right here.
Oh, there's Henry now.
What?
Hi, Henry.
You can see how about my drums?
Okay, so no, I think it was better then, you know, because you put the screen like, no, you have to, yeah, lower.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, let me see. Let me sit down. You see me now?
Yes, perfect.
You see, now wait, I want you to see Ben. He's more important than me.
No.
Come on.
I need to move.
That's it. No big deal.
Is that the furthest it's gonna
Yeah, it's
go?
all right. It's all right.
I need to. It's not gonna.
Gonna make it?
No.
Don't make it.
Hello, Maya.
Right? I don't think it'll make it.
Well, she's muted, Henry, but
Who cares?
he doesn't know how to put the microphone, but I think Isaac can open. Oh, well.
They can.
But now.
Yeah.
Up. Look at that.
Yeah.
¿Cuántas un rato?
Okay.
Yeah.
Llamar a través del internet.
Okay.
Sara, ¿cuántas veces?
Now ask her what she wants to do with those voice.
Hi, Eva. The other Eva, Eva Perlman, Eva Nathanson. We have the two Evas here.
Oh, is it somebody else? Okay.
Yes, you're the two Evas. I love you too, Evas.
You got them both?
Yes, Saul, we can see you both. That's amazing.
Great.
But okay,
Thank you.
Ben, I think it's okay like that, but I think you should do this before starting. I don't know how many times you're going to stay, but you have to activate almost all the event will be in English. This is for everyone. We're going to explain it
Now,
when the event starts.
Could you make it louder a little bit?
She's saying something.
But you have to go to the screen, and in this Zoom room we have, there's a button that it says interpretation, and you should click on English, because it will be just a little part that it's going to be translated, but everyone, and the two Evas, Henry,
She's just
please
saying some of it
click
will
on
be
that.
Not in English.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't hear.
You can't hear it? I'll tell you what, and then they can hear you.
Try to hook up the speakers maybe.
Well, the ones that are joining us right now are the ones that are going to talk, you know, so that's why I am accepting some people, but the event is going to start in 15 minutes.
Now listen, sweetheart. When you're gonna ask question, I have to stay by you because I hear nothing when I'm sitting by the drums. When we're gonna play it, then I go to the drums.
Okay.
Okay, I have got no other choice.
You want to share?
How about now?
But
Yeah. You wanna
don't
share?
move the camera. Don't move the camera, because now we can't see the piano.
How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
It'll be good for the
You wanna
phone.
lower it down?
No, it's fine.
It's good?
It'll be good.
Yes.
Don't worry. But so you wanted so bring a chair though. So are you gonna interview him first and then we'll play?
Well, we're not like interviewing him. It's just we want you to play, guys. But obviously, Saul, if you want to say some words, it's okay. But we are not really going to ask you today something, you know.
Okay. So but he can say some words first and then we'll play.
Yes, that will be good.
Yeah. So you'll speak and then you go back and I'll fix it.
You're right. I go back, you go back.
Yeah,
Oh, you sit
and I'll
there.
fix it. Don't worry.
But I want you to, when I talk, I want you to see you be too with her.
Yeah, I will.
Because they're gonna take a movie or something, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I said that we are going to explain this when all the people is in. But for you that are here,
How soon you're gonna
guys,
be ready?
Oh yes. Well.
How soon?
Wait a minute. I don't know. That isn't the thing I wanted to show you.
¿Dónde está el para quitar cuando salga.
Okay.
Mario ya está acá también.
This
Sí me
event
oyes,
will
¿verdad,
be,
Samantha?
yeah, sí. This event will be bilingual. Este evento va a ser bilingüe. Entonces,
Sara,
so
bájale, porfa.
if you want to hear it
Sara,
every
Sara.
time in English, you should do this, what I put here in the screen. You should go to the button that it says interpretation and turn on the English, okay? And y si tú quieres escuchar todo en español, tienes que ir al botón que dice interpretación y ponerle en español. Si está apagado, vas a escuchar español e inglés. Cuando alguien habla en español, cuando alguien habla en inglés. We have here Lorena that is going to help us to translate everything to Spanish and to English. So that's why we are doing this, so more people can understand. Tenemos aquí a Lorena que nos está ayudando con la traducción. Entonces, esta es una traducción simultánea en la que si yo hablo algo en español, no me va a escuchar a mí si lo puedes en inglés, pero bueno, espero que hayan podido hacer eso. I don't know, Henry, could you do that?
Yeah, I've done it.
And Eva, the two Evas, Eva Nathanson, Eva Perman, did you found that button?
Yes, I already put it to English.
Okay, perfect. And okay.
It will not stay in English.
Yes.
That was, hi, Eva.
Hi.
Hi, Eva.
How are you?
See it?
Yeah, a lot of people.
I'm okay.
La introducción la vas a dar tú al principio, ¿verdad, Sam?
Yeah.
Sí. No sé, está ahí.
Una pregunta, cuando diga las palabras en inglés, ¿en qué canal tengo que estar? ¿En español, en inglés o en ninguno?
En inglés.
En
normal.
inglés.
Margaret.
Normal.
Marta.
O sea, cuando vaya a hablar me pongo en inglés. Vale.
Pero
ok.
vas a hablar en inglés, ¿no?
Sí, sí. O eso intentaré.
Go there.
Yo también.
It's gonna be hard for her to get around though, so.
Okay, so Eva Perman, could you find that button? Yes. Okay, you're muted, but
O todos los demás también
Yes,
pueden ayudarme a, ¿cómo se llama esto? Marcos,
click
a quitarle el micrófono, a abrirles el micrófono a quien tenga que hablar, ¿no? Y a cerrarlo.
yeah, perfect.
¿Sabes qué?
Vale.
Sí. Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
In two languages.
Wait a
Spanish
minute.
and English. You want to make sure? I
10 minutos.
I can talk.
Hola, Mario. Espera, que Mario quiere hablar. Que te he dado permiso para desmutearte, Mario.
Sí, yo recuerdo que yo voy a hablar en español, por favor. Sí. Y yo había pedido permiso para poder poner un PowerPoint en los 5 minutos que tengo, que pueda compartir
Con
pantalla.
todo gusto. Estás como, déjame ponerte como co-host,
Good time. They
Okay.
won't run away, I guarantee you.
Mario, y así ya puedes compartir.
Yofi, gracias.
Okay, let me see.
Hazme un favor, Mario, prueba si ya puedes.
So, no, this doesn't work.
Listo. Sale.
See it?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have, oh, Johnny, hello. I think you have to unmute yourself. I asked you to unmute. I think a button should appear in your screen, so you can speak.
Okay.
Oh no, we can't hear you.
You can see me?
Oh yes, Saul, I can see you, Saul. You are
I
okay.
think
You're
you can
perfect.
see me.
Yeah.
Everybody sees me, the whole world.
No, I didn't see you.
¿Cómo está, pa?
Está
¿Cómo está?
Bueno,
Bene, bene.
ya se lo mandé
Hola,
vía WhatsApp
hola.
a tu hermana.
Yeah. There's a musician, eh?
Hola.
Oh, okay. Johnny, I will explain you something now that you're here. For you, okay, every almost all the event will be like in English, you know, but
Yeah.
it is a bilingual event, so you have to click on the button that it says interpretation. Can you see that button?
I don't see nothing. I don't know nothing about
No,
the computer.
Saul, you are totally okay. You are fine. I'm talking to Johnny, okay? We will start in 5 minutes.
Just let me talk, let me play. I don't want to touch the computer.
Yes, you don't worry, okay? Johnny, hear me. If you have this bar where you can unmute yourself, when you can put your camera, there's a button that it's a little world that it's interpretation. So you should put there English, okay? So you can hear everything in English because we have a wonderful translator here. So that's all.
Record, disconnect audio, chat, language.
That one. Yes,
Okay.
the language.
Language, okay, here we go. Nothing happened.
Oh, you should just
Okay.
click on English and that's all.
Now they come some
How about
extras.
Polish? No?
No.
To play
Well,
the whole band, yeah.
¿Has visto si ya entró el pastor Gilberto? Anita ya entró. Ana García, la hija del pastor Felipe, ya la tenemos por acá.
I'm gonna put full screen. Just a minute.
okay,
full
so,
screen.
okay, no creo que no, pero, so Johnny, could you find the English button?
English, sure English.
Who, me?
No, Saul, you are okay.
Okay, maximize, okay. Okay, now I can see full picture. I can see the
Yes, but-
beautiful face. What's your name, sweetheart?
Bueno, pastor.
Me or who? There's a little,
Muy bien, esperando que entre a la sala o ya entró a la sala.
Johnny,
Yeah,
could you click on the language and English button?
English, but where did I put the English?
Oh, okay. I think to the left of the
louder.
button that it says leave, there's a little world that it says interpretation or language, something like that.
Language, no. Just a minute. Participation, eh?
Perfect. A little higher. Participation, a little higher.
Press. Participation, no.
Perfect.
Chat.
No, okay. Next to chat, there's a little world, okay? A little world that it says interpretation.
Well, you speak English, no?
Yes, we're going to speak in English, but there's little parts that are going to be translated because they're going to be in Spanish, but there are so few of them.
I can see the singer. I think I know you, eh? I know him from Krakow. This guy.
Yes, Saul, he's from Krakow too.
He was in Plaszow with me.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. So, well, I think we're going to start accepting other people. The ones that we are here right now are well, we have another ones, but the ones that are going to participate like more actively. So thank you. I will just put this again before this. Johnny, what I mean is that you have to find this button, okay? That it says interpretation, okay?
Language interpretation, eh?
Yes, and then you should click on English, and that's
Yeah,
all.
well, I press on this, nothing happened. Okay. Nothing happened.
Why this doesn't work?
Oh, English, I have it here. Oh, English.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
Here. English.
Perfect, perfect. Okay,
Okay.
I think now we're going to accept.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, hello to everyone that is joining us. We are going to start in some minutes, but welcome everyone. Oh, Ruth, that I can see you right now. Also Sylvia. Well, we have a lot of people here right now, and I know more people is going to be joining us. But yeah, we're going to start in some minutes, but we are so happy to have you all here, guys. Okay. Well, yeah, I will put that. So we are in this event. We are starting in a minute. Thank you so much. I will explain you in a minute to all the people that has joined us how to put the language for the ones that doesn't have it. So, okay, Isaac, please prepare the live to Facebook, to your page and mine, please. You're muted, pero okay.
All right. Yes, I will do it just now. We have everything. That's all right. Perfect.
Okay.
Te aviso cuando esté.
Yes, okay, we are starting in a minute, but okay, I think I will explain this right now so you can, everyone that joining us can know what to do, okay? If you want to hear everything in English, because well, most of the information will be in English, but there's a little piece that is going to be in Spanish, but translated by our translator. You have to click on this button that it says interpretation and click on English, okay? Y ahora voy a hablar en español. Los que quieran escuchar todo en español para que no se les dificulte, tienen que ir a este botón que está abajo donde está el micrófono, el chat y todo esto, y ponerle en interpretación y ponerle en español. Si están en un celular o en una tableta, tienen que darle clic en los 3 puntos que tiene y poner en interpretación o lenguaje y ponerle ahí en español. Also, if you are in a cell phone or a tablet, you have to click on the 3 dots that it says more, and click on language interpretation and then put English, okay? So yeah, I wanted to explain this before starting, but okay, we are, I think we're starting.
Samantha, te voy a nombrar host para que tú lo compartas en Facebook. No me está permitiendo para que tú lo mandes a los Facebooks.
I can't do that. No puedo porque yo no tengo la clave ni el correo.
Ufa, deja que no nos está dejando compartirlo.
Well, welcome everyone. We're sorry for that. We have a little problem with the computer and all this, but thank you everyone for joining us. It's an honor for us to have you here in this event that we're going to commemorate the Holocaust, and we're going to have beautiful participations of our dear survivors.
No puedo, Ronnie, dime.
Of many young people, music, poems, art. So I hope you enjoy it and we can honor this that happens. Okay, we are trying to stream all this in Facebook too, because there's people that watches later on all this, but I think we're having a little trouble with that. But okay, Isaac, could you do that or not?
Trying to do it. If not, I will put you to do it, Sam, because it's not letting us transmit from here to Facebook. It's blocking us. I don't know why, but it's not doing that. So I'm trying to do it.
Okay, well,
I will know
I
what
think
to do.
we are going to start now. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. As you said, as you can see, this event is called Dialogues with the Voices of the Silence, and we are so honored, so happy to have you here. I will just start with something I want to say concerning to this commemoration we are doing. Well, my name is Samantha Rodriguez. For the ones that don't know me, I am I'm doing this project that it's called The Voice of the Silence, in which I interview, well, I have been interviewing Holocaust survivors, and so this never happens again. And also with Judío, that is Isaac that is helping us. Okay, We are here not celebrating, but commemorating not the Holocaust, but the victims that suffered there. Most of them lost their lives, and now we are their voices. Some of them survived, and we are so honored to have in this meeting our dearest survivors. But I have to say that we shouldn't be here. Why? Because at first this should have never, but we are here, remembering that 76 years ago, Auschwitz was liberated, and other camps as well. That saved some lives, but we are here to remember the 6 million Jews and approximately 11 million of other people from different countries of Europe. Most of them murdered just because they were being themselves, because they didn't have the same ideas as the dictatorial regime of Hitler. This was caused by a horrible and huge amount of hate and selfishness. Because sometimes we as humans forget that we all are the same. We came from the same place and we go to the same place. But thinking this is injustificable. That's why we should love each other as God loves us. Help everyone that's in our way and educate the young generation so this never happens again. I'm a descendant of victims of the Holocaust, and I will teach my next generations about it. The Holocaust is the vivid representation of all genocides, injustices, and discrimination. It is in our hands to stop the hatred and evil we see nowadays. All this, as I said, with love. As the Bible says in Proverbs 10:12, hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers over all wrongs. Love, educate, don't hate. I want to say this in memory of my Stuman family that perished in the Holocaust. Okay, thank you everyone again. We're going to see now something, and before this video, we're going to have Saul, but just wait a minute. Saul, we're going to put a video. Isaac, if you want to present our video, please.
Yes, I want to present. We have the honor to have two ambassadors here speaking with us. One is ambassador of Poland in Mexico, Maciel Sietag, yes, and the other one, the ambassador from Israel to Mexico, Svital. They both have many things to do with Holocaust, so they have a message, a very important message to all the people here at this meeting. Please, Sam.
Hello everyone, I'm Maciej Jętara, Ambassador of Poland in Mexico. Thanks for your invitation. We're commemorating the victims of Holocaust, and every 27th of January we pledge to remember and do not repeat the errors of the past. Nonetheless, as you perfectly know, after the Second World War, there were numerous cases of genocide all over the world. It seems that the history did not teach us anything, because the societies and the people did not refuse to the opposition, friend, enemy, to conceive the other person as radically different because he or she has different customs, religion, or political views. We should refuse to this way of thinking and maybe appeal to the thought of Emanuel Levinas, great Jewish philosopher, who said that a human being should be responsible for the other and should recognize itself in the other.
Querido Isaac Ajzen, queridos alumnos, el 27 de enero se conmemoró alrededor del mundo el Día Internacional del Recuerdo a las Víctimas del Holocausto, declarado por las Naciones Unidas en el 2005 a base de una resolución introducida por la Misión Permanente de Israel ante la ONU. Este es un día en que todas las víctimas del Holocausto deben ser recordadas y honradas. El tema de esta conmemoración está acertadamente ligado a la responsabilidad que tenemos todos de diferenciar entre el bien y el mal entre lo correcto e incorrecto, entre la justicia y la injusticia. Pero recordar, analizar los hechos y saber identificar el peligro, todo eso no es suficiente. El no actuar, la apatía, la indiferencia hacia la injusticia, la discriminación, el sufrimiento del otro que es distinto de nosotros, facilitan a quien propagan el odio y cometen crímenes. La libertad
crimes. The freedom and responsibility to make decisions were sacrificed under the system of the right, which had subdued individuals' free will for the well-being of the state, so-called. This also explains the blind obedience in which the most barbaric acts were perpetrated. Dear students, this is something that we must incorporate in our daily lives to make sure that others, in other events of this kind where millions of innocent people lost their lives, will never be repeated again, ever again. This great responsibility lies upon you. It is your great mission. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to the ambassadors for that words they had for this event. They couldn't be personally here, but they sent us those messages. Now we're going to have a beautiful time with Saul Dreyer, that he's a Holocaust survivor from Krakow. He has a beautiful band that it's called Door Be Door Band, that they have the purpose of to be the light in the darkness and to play these beautiful songs. So he's a Holocaust survivor that plays with young boys. So it's an honor to have you here. Okay, Ben, can you unmute the microphone, please? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did it.
Hi, Saul.
You want me to talk or you're going to ask me questions?
No, just a message for this day, and then you can play for us, please.
Yes, all right, first I'm going to give my message. My name is Saul Dreyer. I'm 95 years old. I'm a Holocaust survivor, and I survived 3 concentration camps. I survived a concentration camp in Krakow, Plaszow. I survived concentration camp in Schindler's Factory, and also I survived Mauthausen, Austria. Excuse me. I'm father of 4 children. I've got 9 grandchildren, and I've got 3 grandchildren. One son of mine retired from the aviation in America. He lives now in Israel, and he teaches English. He just had a baby boy 2 years ago, and I went to the circumcision there, and I came back. Now I want to go again, and I'm stuck because we got the virus. I got my needle already 3 weeks ago. I'm getting my 2nd needle tomorrow morning. I hope everything gonna be all right, so I'm gonna be able to visit all of you. Meanwhile, I give you my best regards. If anybody wants to ask me a question, I'm gonna give you an answer. Before then, I've got 2 orchestras. I got a Holocaust survivor band, and I got also a door-to-door orchestra. But I got a little problem. The door-to-door orchestra are young people that go to school, to high school, and they got exam now. So I couldn't put together all 3, 4 boys. So I brought only one that plays piano and sings. And I got my drums here, so we're gonna try to entertain you. We're gonna try the best.
Yes, please, Saul.
His name is Benno. His name is Ben.
Miller.
Ben Miller, and he's
18.
He's 18 years old. He still goes to school, and he gave up his exam so he can come and be with me today with you people, so we can play for you a little music. Are you ready for us?
Yes, thank you so much. I will go and play for us, please. We are so happy.
Log in.
What?
Put your passcode in.
Yeah.
And then I'll give it to him.
1 second. You have to give me 1 second, darling. I have to change. Put it there. Okay. Okay, Ben, you ready?
Yeah, let me just aim it at.
Okay. See it, us?
They will. Sit down and make sure they can see you. Sit
Yeah.
down.
You see me?
Yes.
Yes?
Good.
Good.
Okay, perfect. So
Hallelujah.
I have the pleasure of present you Dorby Door Band. They're going to play some songs for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Okay, the first song we're gonna do is Hallelujah. Oh, give me a second. I the voices secret joy. It's a to play and it please the Lord, but you don't really care for the music you hear. And it goes like this: the fourth, the minor fall in the major list, the baffled king composing hallelujah. 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 Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. It's all better than all the beauty in the moonlight. Hallelujah. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throat. She cut you from her lips. She drew you. Hallelujah. 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 One time. Oh, baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room. You know, I was still alone before I knew you. I've seen this flag on the marble arch, but no, it's not a victory march. It's cold and it's so broken. Hallelujah. 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 Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Okay, thank you guys. This next song is an original that I wrote about Saul. It's called Burning City, and it's about his life and him going through the Holocaust. And it's called Burning City. Ready? Okay. Walking through this burning city all alone. Looking left, don't see my family where they go. I don't wanna leave this place, so I know. Walking through this burning city all alone. And every night I pray with two silver spoons in my hand. Someday we'll get out of this crazy nightmare. There'll be another life, there'll be another chance. Someday we'll get out of this crazy nightmare. There'll be another life, there'll be another chance. Walking through this burning city all alone.
Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. So sweet, the song you wrote for Saul. You're amazing, guys.
Thank you so much, Sam.
That was amazing.
Well,
And now let's introduce Mario Sinai. He's an important Holocaust historian, and he's talking about something, a subject that is very interesting for everybody, because are the people who risk their lives to save other lives, that they were in the moment to do it, and they did it, because there were many people that they were there and they didn't do anything. So please, Mario Sinai, the microphone is yours.
Bueno, muchas gracias a todos, a la concurrencia, a Samantha, a Isaac, a todos, al Diario de México. Los 5 minutos que me dieron y en este día de conmemoración, quiero recordar a uno de los justos de las naciones. Recordar que en un momento en que ser observador pasivo era la regla y ayudar era la excepción. Y ya lo había dicho en su momento Moshe ben Maimónides, en su libro Ilhot Melahim, los justos de las naciones del mundo tendrán parte en la vida eterna. Y yo quería mencionar solamente un caso, el caso de la isla griega Zakynthos, o su segundo nombre Zante, que como en todas las islas llegaron los alemanes a deportar a los judíos a Atenas y de Atenas a Auschwitz-Birkenau. La isla más importante, Rodas, 1800 judíos de Rodas fueron deportados a la muerte. Llegan también a esta isla Zakynthos. Toman la intendencia, llaman al intendente Lucas Carreri y al metropolitano ortodoxo griego Dimitrios Crisóstomos y exigen que se presenten al otro día a las 8 de la mañana con la lista de los 275 judíos de la isla. El intendente y el metropolitano salen a hablar entre ellos y al otro día a las 8 de la mañana se presentan con un sobre y se lo entregan al capitán alemán. El capitán abre el sobre y en el sobre había una lista con 2 nombres: intendente Lucas Carreri y metropolitano ortodoxo griego Dimitrios Crisóstomos. Pero aquí no termina la historia. A la noche, juntaron a los 275 judíos, los escapan al monte y los esconden durante 3 meses. Tenemos que recordar que había que traerle comida, medicamento, atención, que nadie los delate, porque los alemanes pagaban por delatar a los judíos. Y es el único caso que tenemos en Grecia en que comienza la guerra 275 judíos y terminan con 273 judíos vivos. 2 murieron por enfermedades. Los nazis no atraparon a ninguno a pesar de que los persiguieron. Y son para nosotros un caso paradigmático y ejemplar, donde el liderazgo del intendente y del metropolitano ortodoxo griego salvaron a sus judíos. Una historia pequeña, pero quizás nos da a entender la grandeza de estos hombres, que siempre tenemos que recordarlos, los justos de las naciones. Este es hoy en día lo que fue la sinagoga. En 1956 hubo un maremoto, la sinagoga se cayó, se derrumbó, pero quedó el monumento donde estaba la entrada principal. Esta es mi señora. Este es el monumento en ese espacio donde estuvo la sinagoga, que hoy se recuerdan a los 2 justos, y esta es la placa conmemorativa a estos 2 justos de las naciones que han salvado a los judíos de Zakynthos. Creo que en un día como hoy también tenemos que hacer un espacio para recordar a estas personas. Gracias, Samantha.
muchísimas gracias, Mario, por ese breve pero y tan informativo. Thank you so much, Mario. Sorry for that message that it was so interesting. We should remember the righteous among the nations, right? We should honor them too, because they helped a lot to the victims of the Holocaust. So thank you so much for that. And now we're going to have a participation. I am calling this a minute of remember instead of a minute of silence. We're going to have in the way of this event, some young people ask me that we are not Jewish, and they are going to talk for a minute about what they think about Holocaust and what they have learned. They're going to give us some words. So now I am so glad to introduce you to my friend Marcos. He's from Spain, and he has some words for us today. Come on, Marcos.
I had the pleasure of being able to attend the worldwide exhibition of Auschwitz, not long away, not far away. The exhibition started with a simple red shoe. This is the best example to explain why the Holocaust is important to me and why I should remember the victims. We don't know who the shoe belongs to, where it was from. Whatever it was from Jewish, Russian, Polish, what we know is that belonged a girl whose life was taken away from her. She wasn't to be able to be someone in life, to raise a family, and who knows if she might become a writer, musician, or teacher. We should make the Holocaust universal for all the victims. Education is a space that we need, and it starts in home. To forget the dead is to kill them from a second time, as the Nobel Prize Elie Wiesel said, in memory of Brauner Bear from Poland.
Thank you so much, Marcos. Well, as you can see, we assigned randomly a name of a victim that perished in the Holocaust to all these little speeches we're going to say. So I think this is a great way to honor the ones that are in the unknown, you know, the unknown victims. So, okay, Isaac, I let you the microphone.
I ask everybody to imagine what will happen if one of your heroes that you grew up believing that he made everything correct, that he was not just a hero for you and your family, it was a hero for your country, suddenly it became a murderer, a part of the Holocaust, and this is very hard to believe. And what happened if I'm, or well, somebody that it's the family, the grandchild of the granddaughter of this hero is the one to tell the story about his grandfather and what the bad things he could do at the Holocaust. And not just that, she gave just now in Mexico an important message about that, about what happened with the Jews in Lithuania. Please, we have the pleasure to have here Silvia Foti, the granddaughter of an important hero in Lithuania that maybe he's not more a hero there. Silvia, the microphone is yours.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your program. I'm really honored to be here. I am Silvia Foti from Chicago, the granddaughter of Jonas Noreika in Lithuania. I grew up believing, as Isaac said, that he was a war hero in Lithuania who fought bravely against the communists. But as I started to conduct my research on him, I learned that in fact, he was a war criminal involved in the greatest crime in history in Lithuania. I wrote a book about all this called The Nazi's Granddaughter, How I Discovered My Grandfather Was a War Criminal. This book has recently been translated into Spanish and is now available in Mexico, called Mi Abuelo el General Storm, Héroe de Guerra o Criminal Nazi. According to my research, he played a role in murdering 8,000 Jews in Lithuania, in 3 cities, in Plungė, in Telšiai, and in Šiauliai. And so I join you today to remember the 8,000, to honor the 8,000. These 8,000 were murdered in 1941. Here we are in 2021, exactly 80 years later. Lithuania is a very small country in Europe, yet it managed to murder 96.4% of its Jews, well over 200,000. Lithuania was occupied by the Nazis, and it's true, the Nazis gave the order to kill Jews. But Germany only sent 1,000 Nazis to Lithuania, hoping that Lithuania would help them cleanse the country of Jews. To my shame and horror, Lithuania exceeded Germany's expectations, becoming the country that killed the highest percentage of Jews in all of Europe. During the week leading up to International Holocaust Remembrance Day, I posted on my blog a document each day, a document either signed by my grandfather or a document sent to him. One document called for the rounding up of all of the Jews in his region and sending them to a ghetto where they were all later murdered. Another document called for the confiscation and distribution of the property of those Jews who were sent to a ghetto. In all, my researchers found 68 documents connected to the Holocaust in Lithuania with my grandfather's name on them. I am sorry for the sins of my grandfather, and I am sorry for what the Lithuanian government continues to do. I know that I am not personally responsible for my family and national guilt. Nonetheless, I face you with humiliation, ancestral guilt, remorse, and overwhelming sadness. There is so much evidence that he was a perpetrator, and yet to my shame, Lithuania continues to honor him as a hero. As I wrote in my op-ed published in the New York Times on International Holocaust Remembrance Day, I have vowed to reveal his crimes by giving witness to the truth. And I have vowed to try to correct Lithuania's memory of the Holocaust, in part by asking for honors bestowed on him to be stripped. This can lead to reconciliation between Lithuanians and Jews as we remember what happened and learn from it to ensure it never happens again. I remember.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for this. You are so brave. You know, I admire you, and I know everyone admires you for this courage you have, you know, to unveil the truth, that it's a rough truth. So, okay, we have just like 2 minutes for a question or a comment. Okay, Isaac?
Before questions, somebody they were asking for the book. I want to show you Sylvia's book. It's interesting that it was published first in Spanish, then in English, and everybody can find it already in Amazon and every bookstore. Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. The first person putting a question in the chat or a comment that wants to say to Sylvia, or if you raise your hand, you can ask Sylvia something. If you don't, okay, it's okay too, but we have these minutes. Okay. Does anyone wants to say something to Sylvia? Okay, well, I think we don't have, Johnny.
Yeah. I said, I'm a witness of the biggest murder in the history. I survived 6 concentration camps, and I really thank you for whatever you said about your grandfather. I don't hate anymore. I used to hate, but hate is a poison, and I stopped hating. I'm going to say a few words after that. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. Yes, we're going to hear you in some minutes, but okay, I think someone that it's called iPhone wants to say something. I don't know who you are, but okay.
Alegra, I am Alegra.
Oh,
and I want to congratulate Sylvia and thank her for the courage that you have so that you can show the world what happened 60 or 60, 70 almost years ago. And God bless you and have a good health. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that words. Okay. So now we have another minute of remember. So I am glad to introduce you to Simón del Alto, that he's in United States and he has a message for us. Okay, let me unmute your, okay.
Alrighty, thank you, Sammy. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we gather and remember the millions of innocent lives that succumbed to the hands of hate, intolerance, discrimination, and ignorance during the Holocaust. A period in time in which human dignity and respect for human life were shadowed by extreme ideologies of non-existent racial supremacy. We extend a warm welcome to the survivors who join us today as we hear their stories and carry on their lasting legacies in our hearts. Still, for the 18 million others who are not here with us today, we hold them in our memories, for many were left with no one to keep their memory alive. It is our responsibility now more than ever to educate future generations of what hate can do to the human spirit. Together, we must stand up to those who hurt, humiliate, or damage others because of their faith, nationality, skin color, or language. In memory of the mothers who never held their childs again, the fathers who could not protect their families, the grandfathers who never smiled at the sight of their grandchildren again, the grandmothers who never baked bread for their families again, the children who never played or laughed again, the ones who suffocated in the cattle cars, the ones who died of starvation, the ones who died of thirst, the ones who died standing in the freezing cold, the ones enslaved in concentration camps, the ones hung for resisting, the unborn children who never had a chance, the ones who were gassed and unnamed, the ones laying in mass graves with no mourners, and in memory of Miklos Rosenbaum of Slovakia. In the words of Elie Wiesel, I remember, I swear, never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. For as long as I shall live, I will remember. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simón, for those words. And now, Isaac, go.
All right. During the meeting, we received an important message of the German ambassador in Mexico, and we want to read it just in this moment. Later, we will have the Pastor Gilberto Rocha, but before we will read the message, it's a short message, it's in Spanish, but I think everybody will get the translation that it's doing marvelous, Lorena. All right. This is in the name of the German ambassador in Mexico. Me gustaría recordar junto con ustedes nuestra historia, recordar las atrocidades, los destinos, la muerte y el dolor, todo ello ocasionado por nuestros antepasados alemanes. Como representante de Alemania en México, también quiero contarles cómo es la vida social actual en Alemania, en especial la vida judía en mi país. El presidente federal de Alemania, Franz-Walter Steinmeier, citó en su discurso en la Bundestag alemán al soldado soviético Vorontsov, quien junto con los soldados del primer frente ucraniano llegó a Auschwitz a finales de enero de 1945. Él nos dijo décadas más tarde, el tiempo no tiene poder sobre esta memoria. El año pasado yo le dije aquí que los relatos de los testigos de la época, es decir, de aquellos que sufrieron en los campos alemanes, o que, como el soldado Vorontsov, vieron y fueron acabando con el horror paulatinamente, son de gran relevancia para nosotros en cuanto a la escritura de la historia y la memoria. Únicamente con estos relatos podemos hacer tangible la verdad de la historia para las futuras generaciones. Ahora estamos incluso reunidos hoy en México y aquí también estamos ligados a la memoria de los tiempos oscuros de la historia del mundo. Esta conmemoración no se trata solamente de una cuestión de culpabilidad o de si alguien tiene que estar afectado personalmente. Más bien, se trata de llamar a la responsabilidad por lograr un nunca más. Y eso es una cuestión humanitaria. Dicha responsabilidad no desaparece en la generación de los padres, sino que permanece también como la responsabilidad de los jóvenes, independientemente de dónde vivan o dónde vengan. Y para aquellos que recientemente han escogido a Alemania como su hogar, esto adquiere aún más relevancia. Permítanme echar un vistazo a la Alemania actual y de la situación de las comunidades judías ahí. Estoy inclinado a decir que la calidad de la vida judía en Alemania que se ha alcanzado hasta hoy es una normalidad deseable. Sin embargo, no debemos hacerlo tan fácil. En los últimos años hemos visto que gente en Alemania se ha radicalizado por varias razones y en diferentes contextos. Los blancos de sus insultos verbales, acosos e incluso ataques físicos fueron regularmente extranjeros, migrantes, refugiados, pero también judíos. Un triste momento culminante fue el fuerte ataque armado de un extremista de derecha a la sinagoga de Halle an der Saal el 9 de octubre de 2019. Fue solo debido a circunstancias afortunadas que este hombre no pudo entrar en la sinagoga y causar un baño de sangre entre los fieles reunidos allí en Yom Kippur, la fiesta judía más importante. Sin embargo, mató indiscriminadamente a 2 personas en Halle e hirió a otros más antes de que pudiera ser arrestado. El pasado 21 de diciembre, el culpable fue condenado a cadena perpetua. El Estado de Derecho funciona, pero esto no deshace el hecho, sino que llama a la sociedad alemana, a jóvenes y ancianos con o sin antecedentes de inmigración, a asumir su responsabilidad una vez más, permanente incluso hoy y reiteradamente. Es así como en el año 2021 es un año más del recuerdo y conmemoración para nosotros, pero también uno en el que Alemania, como Estado y como sociedad, debe extraer la responsabilidad de esta conmemoración. Agradecemos desde aquí al excelentísimo embajador Peter Tempeln por este importante mensaje. Y ahora, como dijo el embajador en sus palabras y todo, el holocausto no es nada más una cosa del pueblo judío, es de toda la humanidad y de todas las generaciones presentes y pasadas. Y por eso nos da mucho gusto contar hoy acá con el pastor Gilberto Rocha Marroquín, pastor de Calacoaya. Un honor tenerlo acá. Él ve mucho por el pueblo judío, por Am Israel, como dice él, y por todo esto, y su mensaje es muy importante para nosotros. Pastor, le cedo el micrófono.
Muchas gracias, Isaac. Muchas gracias, Sam. Y pues mando un saludo, shalom, a todos los amigos que nos están viendo, que están conectados. Shalom a todos nuestros amigos de la comunidad judía, independientemente de en qué país o ciudad se encuentren en este momento. Bueno, yo quiero traer con ustedes un mensaje de paz y de reconciliación. Y quiero citar lo que dice el profeta Isaías, cuando dijo: yo, el Señor, te he llamado en justicia y te sostendré por la mano. Te guardaré y te pondré por pacto al pueblo, por luz de las naciones. Yo creo que los cristianos tenemos una deuda con el pueblo judío, porque desde que el Señor decidió establecer esta nación por medio de Abraham, el patriarca, declaró que por medio de este pueblo serían benditas todas las familias de la tierra. Y debemos entender el valor del pueblo hebreo para el mundo entero. Por medio del pueblo judío recibimos la palabra de Dios, la Biblia, y todos los creyentes en Dios asumimos como principios verdaderos todo lo que está establecido en este libro precioso, y se lo debemos al pueblo judío. Los preceptos que rigen a la mayor parte de las constituciones del mundo entero, incluyendo aquellos países que se declaran laicos o antagónicos al judaísmo o al cristianismo, han adoptado códigos de conducta señalados en la Biblia, en la ley, en la Torá. Y aunque se utilice un vocabulario diferente y no se utilice la palabra que el Señor establece, de todos modos se siguen conservando esos principios y esos códigos. En Isaías capítulo 49, versículo 6, dice: poco es que para mí tú seas mi siervo para levantar las tribus de Jacob y para que restaures el remanente de Israel. También te di por luz de las naciones, para que seas mi salvación hasta lo postero de la tierra. Y es que por medio del pueblo judío llegó la salvación, pues para nosotros los creyentes, el Redentor y Salvador del mundo y el deseo de todas las naciones, quien es Cristo, es judío. Y el mundo entero ha sido beneficiado por las aportaciones del pueblo judío. Y vemos también en esto que el pueblo judío sigue siendo luz para las naciones. Si consideramos que se han otorgado premios Nobel a más de 900 personas, de las cuales el 20% han sido judíos, siendo apenas el 1%, el 0.1% de los habitantes del mundo, y que hayan ganado el 20% de los premios Nobel, digo, eso nos habla de un pueblo extraordinario. Yo creo que al haber asesinado el nazismo a más de 6 millones de judíos, el mundo entero terminó perdiendo. Pues en esos 6 millones se fueron años de avances en todas las áreas de la humanidad, pues el mundo tal como lo conocemos el día de hoy, se lo debemos en gran manera al pueblo judío. Desde el campo de la medicina, avances que ha habido en todas las áreas, en la agricultura, la tecnología, las comunicaciones, en el entretenimiento, incluyendo áreas que parecerían tan triviales como el vestido, o tal vez otras que parecerían fundamentales como el transporte, el reciclaje del agua, el generar energías limpias y muchas áreas más que hoy en día se han vuelto parte de nuestra vida cotidiana, se las debemos al pueblo judío, beneficiando con ello tanto a niños como a adultos. Simplemente hoy no podríamos estar conectados en la plataforma y en el sistema en el que estamos vía internet si no fuera por la mentalidad de un judío. Así que la historia del mundo gira en torno al pueblo de Israel. Y la mayor prueba de que la palabra de Dios es cierta es justamente que todas las profecías se han estado cumpliendo, se han cumplido y se siguen cumpliendo ante nuestros propios ojos. El propio Isaías declaró en el capítulo 66, versículo 8, ¿quién oyó cosa semejante? ¿Quién vio tal cosa? ¿Concebirá la tierra en un día? ¿Nacerá una nación de una vez? Pues en cuanto Sión estuvo de parto, dio luz a sus hijos. Y el 14 de mayo de 1948, justamente después de que terminara la Segunda Guerra Mundial y se acabara el Holocausto, Dios movió todas las circunstancias para que la nación de Israel volviera a nacer y la conociéramos tal como la conocemos el día de hoy. Así que Dios utilizó el Holocausto para cumplir esta profecía. Y eso nos enseña que el reloj de Dios está en marcha y que se ha de cumplir. Así que yo quiero animar a todos los que no somos judíos, que aprendamos a bendecir al pueblo judío, que aprendamos a bendecir a la nación de Israel y que promovamos en nuestra sociedad el amor y el respeto hacia el pueblo judío y acabemos con el antisemitismo. Muchas gracias. Shalom, shalom.
Thank you so much, Pastor, for those words of peace between everyone, between Jews, non-Jewish. I think it's so important. And it was a beautiful message for all of us. Well, now we have another minute of remember of a friend of mine that is called Juan Sanchez. So he has a beautiful thing he wrote for us today. So Juan, you can unmute yourself.
Hey, thank you, Sam. Hello, everyone. I call this poem The Oak. We all have the responsibility. It sounds simple to say, but it's more than words. I open my eyes, I get up, I go straight to the window. I see how my surroundings are of the color of the twilight. I feel the cold of the room. I taste my own saliva. I don't know, but I have the feeling of dissonance in me. I see how the rising twilight draws the light to where I am, but luminous thread only lights up the colors of the grass and also those of an old oak that is nearby. There are small flowers that are around it that adorn it. Close in the sky disappears, collide, a swirl, and disobeyes with incredible speed. Several swirl of air combat the branches of the oak, but my eyes were surprised when the dawn appeared, since at that moment I will read before me a small deer. It was leaning on the oak. I had a wounded leg. The blood was noticeable. I rushed out to help him. When I got to his place, I could see that wound had been from a firearm. When I see that little deer, I felt a deep sadness. I closed my eyes, and the tears began to come from my eyelids. I felt that I was losing a friend. I did not want him to continue suffering, but before doing anything else, the deer stopped moving. The sparkles in his eyes had also disappeared. After a few hours of crying and conforming myself, I could finally understand the dissonance I felt at the first. Despite not having injured the deer, I was the culprit of his death. I felt I fell asleep without any concern. If if I had not gotten off to see the window, I might never have known that it was so close. If only maybe I had released before could have saved him. We all have the responsibility to do good, not to do acts that affect our fellow men. If we have the power to do good, we must do it without receiving or asking for anything in return. It is our duty as humans and living beings. We must not repeat the mistakes of the past. We must learn to help, respect, and understand each other. We must grow, move forward because we are alive, and as long as we are, every day we'll have the opportunity to do good. In memory of Shapiro Ana from Romania. Thank you.
I put it on the chat if you want to read it again. Juan, he writes amazing kind of stories and poems. So thank you so much for those words of honor. And now I have the honor to present to you our dear Eva Perlman, also Holocaust survivor, and she's going to give us some few words of concerning to this event. Thank you, Eva.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here today. And I must say, Sam, I want to thank you first of all, and Isaac and Juan and Lorena for all the work that you have done to bring us all together. This is really very impressive. I didn't quite know what I was supposed to talk about, so bear with me. I was born in Germany in 1932, just a few months before Hitler came to power. And my parents had the wisdom, the foresight, and the opportunity to go very early to France, with me, of course. So by the end of 33, we were in France. And then during the war, we started moving more and more and more south to escape the Nazis coming from the north, until we ended in a little mountain village in southern France, where we stayed until it was safe enough to come back to where we lived before going there. We owe our lives to several righteous Gentiles, whom I will never forget, who helped us. You know, in France, like in every other country, there were people who hated the Jews and who betrayed them, and there were other people who helped the Jews and helped them hide and helped them survive. And we were very fortunate to have several of those righteous Gentiles in our lives who helped us to survive the war. And I will be forever grateful all my life. I count my blessings every day. I thank God every day for my life and for my health. And I say hi to everybody, everyone here. I wish you all very well. And thank you for putting on this kind of ceremony. It is really very moving for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eva. we have we can have a question or something for Eva if you want to know more about what she thinks or what. I don't know if anyone has a question or a comment to Eva. I will want a young boy or girl. If you want to ask something to Eva, it will be awesome. So I don't know. Okay. Well, I would like you to tell us, Eva, what do you want to say to our generation to not repeat this? What advice do you have for us? Sorry, you are okay. You have to unmute yourself. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't work. I couldn't unmute myself. What I would like to say to everyone, be grateful for your life, for what you have. Don't ever take anything for granted. Enjoy life, enjoy what you have. And I wrote a book, by the way. I wrote my autobiography, which came out a year ago. And we survived by miracles. God sent miracles all through the war and all through my life. I've had an amazing life. So be optimistic, be thankful, be positive, look forward, don't look back.
Thank you so much, Eva. You really inspire us to live with this joy, with this hope, and to know that miracles happen. Well, I think we have a question of Marcos. Okay, go on.
Sí, me gustaría hacerte una pregunta. Creo que Mario también coincide conmigo. Si te acuerdas, Eva, de las personas que te pudieron salvar, si te acuerdas de los nombres para poder recordarlo, porque ellos también merecen ser citados. Gracias.
You want their names? Oh,
Yes.
I do remember Monsieur Placereau, who gave my father his job when we went over to France because they were colleagues before the war. Madame Mégos, a secretary who helped my father even in hiding, work part-time for the office. Monsieur and Madame Raveau, our landlord and landlady in the village where we lived. We lived upstairs, they lived downstairs. And we even had two Nazis in our house at one point for 2 weeks. I mean, it was an unbelievable circumstance. And Monsieur and Madame Giron, our landlord and landlady in Lyon, where we lived before going to the mountains. And Madame Montonex, Monsieur and Madame Montonex, the owner and owners of a home for children. And they were inscribed in Yad Vashem as righteous Gentiles. Unfortunately, the other people I have mentioned, although they were instrumental in saving us, they did not risk their lives enough, in quotes. This is what I was told by Yad Vashem. They did not risk their lives enough, so we couldn't put their names there, which is kind of, it's too bad, you know. I mean, they have to make their rules. I would have liked them to be inscribed there, but I honor them in my book.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eva. Yes, I think it's so important to remember the ones who help you survive. And yeah, they were admirable people that risked their lives to save you, right? So thank you for that. Okay, I think Isaac?
We have some other questions, but we will do it. We will do them at the end of this of the reunion. We will have a space for questions and talking with all the survivors and within everybody. But now, everybody, you know, there are stories that are told by people, by the survivors. But there are also stories that they are told by the instruments that they were part of these surviving lives. And in Mexico, we have an organization that it's called Instrumentos de la Esperanza, that are getting all the instruments that have a story in the Holocaust and bring them back alive. So We have a video, we have a presentation of them. Please, Samantha, put them on.
Well, thank you to Instruments of Hope or Instrumentos de la Esperanza for this beautiful video. All the instruments you saw there are from Holocaust survivors. They used to have those instruments and play to them, so they are counting these stories through the instruments. So if you have someone that you know that had a story with an instrument, you can contact us. Well, in the chat, Adela put the email to this because they are having this great labor of collecting the instruments of the Holocaust survivors. So the instruments itself themselves count the story. So thank you so much. Now we are going to have another minute of remember. And I'm so honored to introduce to my friend Juan Miguel from El Salvador, that he's going to tell us a little words, some words. Okay, you can unmute yourself. Okay. I don't know what. Well, Juan Miguel, are you there? Yes, okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's an honor to me to talk to you. I'm from El Salvador. This is in memory of Base Fernand from France. Today I'm so honored to be an echo of the silence of many. The legacy of thousands and thousands of innocent people is alive. That legacy is in us. We are young. We will never understand exactly how the Holocaust was, but something we can do is to be a living voice of the silence, a living voice of you guys. We'll never forget those who were murdered for being themselves. Base Fernand is more than just a name. I can't stop thinking about his stolen dreams, his future, and now, many years after he was murdered, he's still inspiring us to dream and to inspire others. What happened in the past was real. The pain was real. The suffering was real. The tears were real. Your stories are real. However, there is hope that is real. There is love that is real. There is a God who is real, will prevail forever. I just want to raise a voice of hope instead of hopeless. I want to raise a voice of love instead of hatred, a voice of forgiveness instead of resentment. We, the young generations, will be a voice of the silence and will be a strong revenge of love. God bless Israel. God bless humanity. Besides that, I just want to thank you guys for your courage, for inspiring my generation. Each of you are inspiring us personally. I'm being inspired. I want to thank you for fighting, for never give up. And besides that, I just want to thank Samantha because through the interviews she's been doing, my whole point of view of life has changed. I have understand how important life is, and that we don't need to give up because you are inspiring us and you never gave up, and we are not gonna give up because of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan Miguel, for those words. As he said, you inspire us. We have here in the meeting a lot of survivors. Thank you so much. We have Eva Perman, Eva Nathanson, Johnny Jablon, Saul Dreyer, Henry Slucky, I think Luis Opatovsky. Also, we have Willie de Winter and also Lily Couple from Costa Rica that we are going to have an interview with her next Saturday. But okay, thank you so much. Now, and hello to everyone. Now I'm going to read a poem I just wrote in these days, you know, in honor of the victims. And I want to dedicate this poem in memory of Bela and Jakub Stulman. my great grandfather parents, because they died in the Holocaust. They were murdered. Okay, so the unspeakable memory of horror, a necessary speech of honor, 76 tears of glory, a right to live and tell their story. The stars stamped in their arms now shine bright and light up the sky, for the ones whose hearts were still beating, for the fallen, silent souls by the evil's beating. Survive, don't give up. They heard their parents' voices. They imagined a better life, avoiding pain and noises. Living in hell, dreaming about heaven outside. It was worth the fight. They survived and shine. The children lost their toys, the adults their joy. Some of them, living witnesses, survived by miracle, now being the door to love as a choice, standing as keys against the hate and the unfavorable. Give up. Some of them heard their cries, their bodies cry out, and let their last breath be an eternal shout. In honor to the ones whose lives were stolen, their sad song tells the truth without doubt. Now they are not just numbers. We should shout it, be the light in the darkness. Show this world to love and not to crumble. Please listen to the unspeakable, to the voices of the silence. Thank you so much. This is a poem I wrote in honor of the victims, and also to you, to the survivors that are hearing us. I inspire in your stories. Maybe you could see some details that you had in your stories. But okay, before continuing with the program, I wanted to take a picture of this huge meeting so we can have this memory forever. So if you can turn on your camera, it will be awesome. So we can take the photo, the people that doesn't have the camera on, please. Okay, so I think I'm going to.
Sam, just to tell everybody, it's incredible to have so many survivors and many other people and people involved in the Holocaust and working with that in the same place. It's something that you don't see it every time, every day. So congratulations for this event, Sam. It's important for this to know.
Thank you. Okay, so I will take the picture. So 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute, because I have to take several. We are a lot. Okay, so the other one is 1, 2, 3. Wait another minute. Just keep smiling, please. I'm almost done. Okay. Okay, I think we're done. And now I will give the microphone to my friend Adrián Lemos, that is going to give us another minute of remember. You can open your microphone.
Hello. Well, there is an honor to be here. The words that I prepare are for Stoll Arthur, in memory of Stoll Arthur from Germany. I have been all night looking out to the window, listening how the wind breaks the silence of the night, alone in the dark of my room, in front of a blank page, thinking about what I can tell you, dear Arthur. No extension of words could express what you experience. I cannot say that I understand you. I cannot say that I cannot tell you that everything will be fine. I cannot comfort you. You left us in a forced and alien way, a way that none of us will never know. The only thing I can say with certainty, Arthur, is that I am in debt with you. A debt that is paid with love for the one in whom I reflect, for my brother, for my sister, for everyone who, in an absence of any particularity, calls himself human. As Seneca says, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. And we owe you that, Arthur, the kindness and love for humanity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrian. As you can hear, every young boy or girl that is talking, they are mentioning a name of a victim. So Adrian said this in memory of Arthur Stoll from Germany, I think. So this is amazing. Thank you so much. And now I wanted to remark that some months ago, I discovered this organization that it's called From the Depths. This organization, the thing that they do is to honor and to help the righteous among the nations, because some of them, they don't have food, they don't have money, they don't have medicines. So this organization From the Depths, I think they are doing great. And I want Johnny Daniels to say hello. He's part of this organization. He's one of the directors. So it's amazing to have you here, Johnny. What can you tell us about From the Depths and your labor? Unmute, okay.
Hi there, everybody. Well, firstly, Sam, congratulations. I am a great-grandchild of Holocaust survivors. My great-grandfather managed to get to London, England, and his entire family were murdered. They were from a town in northern Poland. And I grew up listening and learning to stories of the Holocaust. I grew up surrounded by Holocaust survivors. And it's so powerful for me to see so many of you here and to hear some of your stories. Thank you all for sharing. Saul Dreyer was someone that we work with and know and love very, very much. I am a millennial. I moved to Poland a few years ago to run this foundation. And our foundation From the Depths is focusing on Holocaust education and looking and seeing how we can bring this memory to a younger generation, because it's important. To see dedicated people like you, Sam, is incredible. And I have to say that all of these minutes of memory have really inspired me so much. And I am so really, truly grateful to you and to everybody else for taking part. There's 195 righteous amongst the nations still living. These incredible people who saved the lives of people like Mrs. Perlman, who spoke before, and many others as well. From the 22,000 plus who were honored by Yad Vashem, only 195 live today. And our foundation focuses on helping and supporting them and doing what we can to make sure that they live their final years with the respect and dignity that they deserve. I could speak for a very long time, but I'm not going to, because there's much more important and incredible people than me here. So I'm sure Sam will share information about our website and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And for those of you who want to follow, you're welcome to do so. But once again, thank you so much. I honestly can't tell you how graciously appreciative I am for you and for all of you for what you're doing. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Johnny. I really admire your job. And as he said, they also have TikTok. Can you believe it? Of From the Depths. So their goal is teaching our generations about what happened. And this season of that passed of Christmas and winter, they have been taking to all the houses of the righteous among the nations food, a little Christmas tree, because most of them are Catholic, you know. It was amazing, and thank you, Johnny, for being here. I left the page here if you want to help this cause. I really want to help this cause. So thank you, Johnny. And now we are going to have another minute of remember. And I have the honor of introduce you to my friend, Alejandra Güemes. Ale, okay, you can unmute yourself now.
Okay. This is in honor of Pastor Seidenberg. Well, this is what I wrote. The most important thing I learned was that it doesn't matter how deep a wound can be, if you show forgiveness and teach others about courage and resilience. Cheers for those who came here to tell the story of those who couldn't. For your brave and for your service, I salute you. And I deeply want to thank you. Thank you for teaching us to love. Thank you for giving us strength. Thank you for showing us the sky when we were used to see the ground. Just Thank you. Gracias, Esther Seidenberg.
Thank you so much, Ale, for those words. All the young people you have heard by now, we are not Jewish, okay? And we are commemorating this because it's so important. So Isaac, I give you the microphone.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Ale. Like you said, there are many people that are not Jewish and celebrating or commemorating the Holocaust. And one of these is an organization called, I will say it in Spanish for people to know it in Spanish, PAZ, Pastores que aman y apoyan a Sion, a Israel. And his founder was Pastor Felipe Garcia. He has an event every year doing reflections about what happened in the Holocaust. And it's for me an honor. He passed away during this pandemic. It's a great loss for everybody who know him, and for Israel and for Judaism also. And we have here the honor to have his daughter, Anna and Claudia. Please, they have a very interesting message of peace they do.
Hi, warm greetings to everybody. I'm thankful with Samantha and the Diario Judío for this special opportunity to speak about the Holocaust. My name is Ana Garcia, and I was daughter of Pastor Felipe Garcia, who now rests in peace. As Isaac said, my father was a tireless Zionist lover and passionate of the beloved nation of Israel. But now we, as his children, will take care of his legacy. More than 70 years have passed since the terrible tragedy of the Nazi Holocaust. And what did we do? What we were doing, coupled with the fact that we are living a new era, full of advances in all areas, where human being doesn't seem to be able of such things. Today, we are living a worldwide Holocaust. Which was the factor of Nazi's Holocaust? And what is the factor today? For the love of money is the root of all evil. The power, the proud of all human beings. And I ask myself, what are we doing, not just with the past, but with the present? Before this overwhelming and dark part of history that happened, and through this death tunnel the world face, is there any hope? Is there any salvation? Is there any solution? Yes, the salvation is that every man turns to his Creator, submit to God, and be at peace with Him. In this way, prosperity will come to you, says the scripture in his Job chapter 22, verses 21. The man who turns to his Creator will love his neighbor and won't be able to do such things as the Holocaust, neither as today's. Let's be a helping hand. Let's don't be silent before others' anguish. Let's don't deny help to the hopeless. I conclude my words, telling the words of the Jew of Jews, Jesus Christ. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna, for those beautiful words you have told us. I think it's something to think about, and they were beautiful. Thank you so much. Now I have the pleasure to introduce you to Camila Gamma for another minute of remembrance. She's going to talk us about her experience towards the Holocaust. So Camila, I think you can, okay, yeah, you can, your microphone.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Camila Gamma. I'm 22 years old and I'm from Mexico. Back in 2018, I had the opportunity to live in Berlin. And I'd like to talk about my experience regarding the Holocaust. While I was living there, I traveled to Sachsenhausen, a concentration camp on the outskirts of Berlin. And all I have to say is that I lived and I felt something that I'll never forget. Here are some pictures that I took while I was there. The Arbeit macht frei sign in the fence gives you goosebumps. And to hear all the stories that happened there, to listen to how people was treated and the pain that was caused makes us realize that as a society, we cannot let something that horrible happen again. To sum up, I want to say that I feel honored to be here and also thankful with you for sharing your story with us, for being a symbol of hope and bravery. It is important to never forget. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Camila, for your words, because you were there, you know, and even if you also you are not Jewish, you were there and you were like impacted by this. So thank you for your words. So Isaac, I give you the microphone.
I have the honor, thanks Samantha, to present our next survivor, Ruth Mermelstein. She was a survivor from Auschwitz camp, and she has an incredible message for all of us. Ruth, please.
Thank you very much. Am I on?
Yes.
Oh no, Ruth, I think you are muted again. Oh.
She can open it.
Now we can hear you.
Okay,
now.
Very good. Thank you very much for inviting me to. I think this is an amazing program, having all these young people learning so much about the Holocaust and continuing to be good people and teaching others. Anyway, my story started when I was 10 years old. I was born in Sighet, Romania. I was a neighbor of Elie Wiesel's. And of course, he wrote many wonderful books, and especially a night where he described Sighet, a beautiful old town. Everything was fine till 1940. I was 10 years old when the Hungarians marched into a Romanian town. Hungary occupied part of Romania with the blessing of the Nazi Germany. And right away, Hungary had to import all the anti-Semitic laws from Nazi Germany. Right away, they called up young men to forced labor. Later, they called up, and the next year, this was in 1941, in 1942, they decided, Germany demanded that Hungary should deport Jewish people from all over Hungary. For some reason, they made up some kind of a reason why they should take them. So they took most of my family away at that point. They took my uncle, my mother's younger brother with his family, 3 little children under 10, under 9, and also my mother's younger sister with her family. They took them away, and my aunt, who lived in a large city, but she came back to live in our house, in our town. Anyway, it's a long story, but they murdered those people in cold blood. The first time, the first mass murder was done, they took them to the Ukraine. My mother's sister and brother with their families, beautiful children. As a matter of fact, one of my cousins, she won the first prize in Shirley Temple lookalike in a very large city. And now they were all murdered just because they were Jews. It was a terrible time for us, right? 1941. They took about 22,000 people, and they were murdering them by shooting them, lining them up next to a large grave. How did we find out about it? A man who was with this group, he managed to come back to our hometown and told us. Anyway, it's a long story. I don't know if I can go on in all these stories, but since 1941, our life has definitely changed because my grandma was crying day and night. 1942, they took my father to forced labor. Things were very bad. I cannot go on and tell everything in 5 minutes, but really things were so bad. I wound up in Auschwitz with my parents, and right away they murdered my parents and my siblings. My only survivor is one of my sisters. I never forget that, because you never can forget that you are taken away from your family and you are left as a 14-year-old, going through hell in Auschwitz and another concentration camp, and ending up after a death march in Bergen-Belsen. It was a horrible story to tell. Anyway, my daughter, she listened to my stories. She started to ask questions early in her life, and I started to tell her. And she wrote a book about me, my early childhood, and also about the Brigadier General, the British soldiers who came into Bergen-Belsen to save me, to save as many as I could. I was half dead, but I'm here to tell you because this Brigadier General, this general came in to try to save as many people as he could in Bergen-Belsen. It's a horrible story, but everybody have to know that it happened, that the most enlightened nation in Europe could do such horrible things. They stopped the shooting of people because the weapons were more expensive. They discovered something more easily to murder people. They took them to Auschwitz and other camps where they had gas and what do you call it? And murdered them and burned them alive. Burned them after they gassed them, then they burned them. When I asked the couples when I'm going to see my family again, they said, when you go up and smoke, don't you smell the terrible smoke and the burning flesh? When you go up and smoke, then you are going to be reunited with your family. It's a long story. If somebody wants to hear more about it, I will tell you. I know I only have a couple of minutes to talk about it, but I went through hell. I was half dead when the British came in, and they put me in the hospital room, the British, when they came in. And every morning they took out 11 girls who died during the night, and I just wanted to live. I just wanted to live because I had a sister who was alive, and I knew that there were no more family members left, and I didn't want to die because I didn't want my sister should be all alone. Every morning for 3 weeks in this room after the war, they took out 11 dead and brought in 11 dying. It was a horrible time because Bergen-Belsen was full of dead and dying. People were dying. There were mass graves of 5,000 and 6,000 and 10,000 people there because people were just dying. They brought people there on death marches and in boxcars just to die there. And somehow I survived. And I'm very happy that I'm survived. We have to make the best of our lives. We have to be kind to each other. We have to have hope things are going to be better because the Holocaust was horrible. Anyway, yes. What can I tell you? In a short time, I cannot tell very much, but I'm very happy to be alive. I'm very happy that I came to the United States. This is the best country in the world for us. And I had a wonderful life. I got married. I had 58 wonderful years with my husband. I have 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. Unfortunately, I cannot see them nowadays because of the coronavirus. And this is my story. If anybody has any questions, I would be happy to tell. And also, they could read more about my life in this book, All the Horrors of the War. The reason this title is All the Horrors of the War, because the general, when he came into Bergen-Belsen, that's what he saw, all the horrors, when he was later on, when he had to condemn the Nazis who were treating us so horribly. That's why the yes.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for your summary of your story. I think it was a really good summary, you know. But yeah, we know that you went through really difficult things through the Holocaust, but we are here, right? You are here, you're alive, and that's the most important thing. So we have just time for one question because we are like a little bit rushed with the time, but I don't know if someone wants to ask a question to Ruth. You can put it in the chat. Okay, well, if you don't have any question, it's okay. I think she was so clear, but yeah, you can see her book in that page. Well, Luisa Fowler, it says, thank you, Ruth, for sharing your story. Thank you, Ruth, for sharing your story.
Samantha, you put together a wonderful program. I'm very proud of what you did. Really, you're a beautiful young lady, and it's so wonderful to hear you and what you are doing. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ruth. You too. Okay, so now I have the honor of introduce to you a friend of mine from Poland, Sylwia Piątek. She's going to tell us a minute of remembrance too. So Sylwia, you can open your microphone. Yeah, now you can.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here with you. And I want to say a few words in memory of Szyniok Miksa from Hungary. Holocaust is incredibly meaningful for me as a Pole. I was learning about the Holocaust victims and survivors since I was a child, but until now, I have never had an opportunity and enough courage to show you my thankfulness. History books will never replace the stories of real people who experienced real tragedies. Thank you so much for showing us your strength, courage, and what was keeping you alive. I believe that your stories are warning for us, young people, what hatred can lead to. Thank you for the best history lesson that we should always forgive, but never forget. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sylwia. Dziękuję bardzo in Polish for those words. I think it's so meaningful that, yes, a Polish girl as you, that maybe you're not Jewish, but you are commemorating this event. So thank you so much. Now is Isaac. You have the microphone.
Thank you. Like I told, there are different ways to tell the story. And one of them is with Daniela Mansour, that some time ago she went to the March of the Living, and she decided that she has to make an honor to all the survivors. And she made beautiful picture paintings for all of them. And we saw it, one of them, we saw it with Saul. It was behind him where he was playing, behind of him, he was the paint that Daniela made for him. So Daniela, please let us know a little bit about your work with this.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here with all of you. I am Daniela Mansour, and I am a Mexican artist. And I want to talk about this project that comes from the need to transmit and spread the Holocaust and the particular stories of the victims. 3 years ago, I was studying an art therapy, and I have the opportunity to go to the March of the Living. So I took my watercolors and my notebook and to capture what I was feeling to make an art diary. Then, when I was walking through the door, leaving Birkenau behind me, I made myself a promise that I would do something to always remember, to don't forget, and to transmit the Holocaust to the further generations. And the way I decided to do it was through art. So in the pandemic, I began to investigate victims who have not survived. And I made drawings as a tribute of their life. Today, I am dedicating my artwork to making artistic tributes to the survivors by transmitting a little of their personal history, because I believe that we all have the responsibility as human beings to be bearers of the truth, to make sure that new generations know the story And the Holocaust is not forgotten, and something like that never happens again. So that's my contribution to remember.
Thank you so much, Daniela. As you can see there, oh my God, Johnny, Saul, see this. Daniela painted for you this painting, you know, and also here we have for Ruth Mermelstein, Eva Nathanson. Look at your paintings. She made these beautiful paintings for you guys. So I think Daniela is amazing. Also for Luisa Patowski that it's going to talk. And to Eva Perlman and Henry Slucky. So Daniela, that's awesome. Thank you for this amazing surprise to our dearest survivors.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so now I have the honor to introduce again to our dear survivor, Johnny Jablon, that it's going to give us some words of what his experience or what advice has to our generation.
My name is Johnny Jablon. I was born in Krakow 95 years and 10 days ago. And I witnessed the biggest murder in the history, Holocaust, which I lost my entire family, plus 6 other million. By a miracle, by luck, whatever you want to call it, I survived six different concentration camps, including 1 year in Auschwitz, March of Living, death marches, and 6 other concentration camps. When I was liberated in Gunskirchen in May 4th, 1944, I weighed 37 kilos, laying dead in the mud, and I was lucky enough that I have a good friend who just pulled me out. What I want to tell you, people, that the history is repeating again. It reminds me the year of 1935 with the propaganda against Jews. I was watching Facebook yesterday, and on the Facebook, they were showing that couples, you know what a couple is, they were Jews, they were Ukrainians, but mostly Jews, and they were killing, I don't want to say any nationality. It got me so upset, you have no idea. I witnessed in Auschwitz, Mauthausen, Gusen, there were no Jewish couples. There were not even individual. What's happening in the world? There are individuals which they say now, it never happened. It happened. I wish it would never happen. That I'm gonna wake up from a big dream that the Holocaust didn't exist and I'm again with my family. No, it happened. You, all of you, the young ones, you have to carry my torch and say that it happened and teach the people. I don't hate anymore. Like those guys on the Facebook, they hate. They put so much hate against me, against Jewish people. One thing more, last year at the same time, I was on the 70th, I was invited to memory of the 75th anniversary of Auschwitz liberation. I was sitting near so-called survivors next to me, trying to tell them the stories and histories. So you know what they said to me? You Jews, they have all the money. you run the world on the memoriam. I didn't want to talk about it because it upset me so much. Please, don't let it happen again. And don't hate. I used to hate, but I don't hate anymore. The hate is a poison. But keep the memory and keep telling the people that you've seen Johnny Jablon and he went through it. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you have any questions, please ask.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Johnny.
Ronit has one.
Yes, come on with the questions then. I think Ronit has a question. Okay.
My hearing is not good, so you have to help me with that.
Yes, well, or maybe I don't know.
She's going to ask, but she's going to ask in Spanish. Ready, Ronit?
¿Cómo te gustaría que las nuevas generaciones transmitan el holocausto?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get it.
She's asking, how do you like the new generation, the young generation, to transmit it a Holocaust far and far, no? They are going to be the ones to transmit it.
The new generation wants to learn about it. The new generation, they didn't hear about Holocaust, but so the internet try to learn, and the key to fight is education, only education, because a baby when he's born, the baby he's not the anti-Semite, the baby doesn't know to hate, the baby doesn't know, the way you brought up the baby, they brought up the people, that's the way they want. There's no other way. You have to educate the young people not to hate. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. I think Luisa Fowler has another question for you. Okay, Lisa, you can unmute yourself. I ask you to unmute. Lisa. Well, I think she, okay.
Hello?
Now.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello, Johnny. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your story. And thank you to everybody, all the survivors and the host. And my question is that what gave you the strength to survive the camps?
Sorry, I couldn't get this question.
What gave you the strength to survive the camps?
It would take me lots of time to talk about it. Basically, I was able to disconnect myself. I was able not to feel the pain and the hunger. And I was dreaming about revenge, that one day I'll be able to have a revenge. And I did have a revenge. I have a revenge right now, talking to you people. I have revenge going with the March of Living. You heard about the March of Living, I hope. Going to Auschwitz and talk to the kids and crying with them. This is my revenge. That's how I survived. And basically it's luck. It would take me too long to talk about it, but basically, if it's a miracle, some of the rabbis said that it's a miracle that I survived. I don't believe in miracles. It was luck that I stepped to the left instead of the right, that the day was raining, it was not snowing. Things like this, you survive.
Thank you, Johnny. Okay, the last question is from Caroline, that is a big fan of you too. So Caroline, come on.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
I have your book and I.
Oh, that's my book. That's me. Hey,
Look at his hand picture.
no, I look the same.
Um,
Almost.
I know you
I
touched
lost my hair.
I know you touched on this just when in the last answer, but I loved how you were talking about, I've thought so much about like how I would survive in that situation and if I could ever even make it, and the resourcefulness and the luck and everything. And I thought it was really interesting when you said that you would tune everything out and you would think about the birds in the sky and the blue skies and just having peace in your life again. And I was just wondering like what hope meant to you and what hope means to you now.
You have to excuse me, but I'm getting a little bit older. My hearing is not so good. Could you repeat the question, Sam?
Oh, that what does hope means to you?
One of the what?
Hope. What does hope?
Hope? Everybody has a hope. Everybody is saying, look outside now. It's cold, that I'm freezing, but I'm hoping tomorrow is going to be warmer. So hope keeps you alive. If you don't hope, it's no use to live. You hope. You have a piece of bread. You hope maybe you're going to have a little bit of butter on it. Eh? That's your hope. Everybody has different hope. I was hoping I'm going to go skiing outside, but I said, no, I'm too old for that.
Thank you, Johnny.
Johnny, we were hoping to have all these survivors and many people here with you and with you, and it was possible. Thanks to Samantha and
You're
thanks
welcome.
to all of our workers.
I'm sorry
Thank
I
you.
took so much time.
Thank you. No, it's okay. Thank you so much for that words, Johnny. They inspire us. And now I want to present you my friend Andrea Solis, that she's going to give a minute of remembrance. So you can unmute yourself. I asked you. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Well, my name is Andrea, and these words are in memory to Hannah Pollack from Netherlands. Since I have learned a lot about Holocaust and each of you guys. Today, I bless and honor your lives, and I thank you for every talk made it. Well, having known your stories has given me the opportunity to see life in a different way, of course, to value every minute of my existence. I have learned that we should all see the peace as the only option and love as the bond that unites us a family. Now, finally, I have run out of time and words to express everything I have to say to you, but I thank you for your confidence and courage in telling your stories. You are an example to follow for me and many other young people. It is in us that this never happens again, as Johnny said before. I really love you, and as the great Zach Soviet said, I will live to make others happy while I can, because you have made me see that even though it is dark, there is always a light. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for these words. And I'm pleasure to present our next survivor, Eva Nathanson. She's from Hungary, and she's celebrating these days her 80th birthday. So Eva Nathanson, please tell us a little bit about you and your story. And congratulations on Mazel Tov.
Thank you. So thank you. First of all, thank you, Sam, to inviting me and doing this lovely presentation. I was born in 1941 in Budapest, Hungary, to what you call the upper class of Jewish families. My grandfather owned land between Czechoslovakia and Hungary. They provided the blood kosher goods for both countries. And my birth father had a factory in Budapest. My grandfather and all his children also was working with the underground, trying to save Jews from Czechoslovakia and Poland, because Hungary was under the German monarchy, and so they were not deporting yet people. So somebody turned my grandfather in for saving Jews from Czechoslovakia and Poland. So when I was about a year and a half old and I was at the grandfather's estate, the Hungarian Nazis came and took everybody away. I was saved by my governess, a big peasant lady who was taking care of me, because my mother was in Budapest running my father's factory because my dad was already in the slave labor camp of the Hungarian army. But they took me to their house. The peasant lady took me to her house, kept me there overnight, and while I saw my entire family put on trucks and taken away, my father, my grandfather, my great-grandmother, 4 aunts, and all their children were taken away. Next day, I was taken back to Budapest, and the underground had already notified my mom that the only way they can save her and me if we go into hiding, because we were also on the list to be picked up. The next 2.5 years I spent in hiding by righteous Christians and the underground. I went into hiding before I was 2, and I didn't come out until after I was 4.5 or 4 years plus 4 years. I was hidden in cabinets, closets, storage rooms, attics, cellars, wherever anybody could find a place to hide. My mother had first give them money and jewelry, whatever she had with her. And when she ran out of that, she started to knit day and night. And she was, whatever she knit, if they could sell it, we were fed. If we weren't, if they couldn't sell the things she needed, we didn't eat. We were hiding about 6 months or so at one point when the underground also found a young girl who was all by herself. She was even younger than me. She was crying on the street because her parents were taken away. And so they gave her to hide with us. So while I was very happy because I had somebody to play with, even though it was, this is me when I am a year old. But that's about the last time I was 3. That doll was my but my birth father gave me before. This is my birth father. He was murdered in 1942 because he escaped to give me that doll. And some of the places which we were hidden was very, very clear to me. We were hidden once in somebody's living room. They dug a hole in the living room floor. They lined it with something and they put a plywood over it and tables and chairs. So if anybody walked in the room, they didn't see that there were people underneath it. And we were there basically all whole day. We were not allowed to make any sound. We were not allowed to move. So nobody hears that we were under there. We were only allowed to come out when it was safe. That meant that my bodily functions had to be trained, that I would not have any of, I didn't have to go to the bathroom during the day and things like that, which was very difficult for a young kid to be controlling everything. Also, I was always hungry because we never had enough food. My mother shared most of the food with the little girl whose name was Wally with me. And so we all were very skinny and very sickly. And also I picked up some kind of disease. I was running a fever, so my mother kept on wiping me with washcloths to people who were hiding us won't see that I was running a fever. They were afraid that we were turned away. We were moved from one house to the other always at night. And one of the times we were picked up, it was in 1943 when we were moved. The Nazis, Hungarian Nazis, had already deported the Jews from Hungary, and they separated my mother and my little friend and I. We were put on one truck, and my mother was put on another truck. And I remember being petrified because that was the first time I was among a bunch of strangers on a truck. I must have been about 3 years old, 3.5, was totally petrified. And then I saw 4 Nazis following the truck. 2 of them climbed on the truck and they found us and threw us into the arm of the other 2 Nazis. And I totally lost it. I soiled myself and I threw up from fear. And they took us to a house, and it turned out to be that these people were not Nazis. They were actually the underground, and they actually saved us because the trucks were taking the kids to Mauthausen, and none of them came back. I lost 96% of my family. In 1945, the Hungarian Nazis decided that they didn't want any witnesses, so they searched the houses, and if when they found the Jews or any of the other undesirables, they would drag us to the Danube, tied 2 to 3 people together with and shot one of them with one bullet because they didn't want to waste bullets on a bunch of Jews. And you could hear the people falling into the water, gurgling, begging, pleading, dying. The river was covered with dead bodies. And my mother and I were, each time they shot somebody else into the water, we moved up at one group. And all of a sudden I felt the rope going around my neck. I was tied to my mother with my friend. And then a man said to my mom, "You dirty Jew, I know who you are. You were hidden you were lived in the same house as I did before the war started. If you promise to testify for me that I saved you and the 2 brats, I won't shoot to kill." And he dragged us to the edge of the river and shot but not to kill. And we fell into the Danube. And I remember it was at the edge of the river, not where it was running very fast, because there were growth at the edge. It was like a marsh. And my mother's wiggled around, so our faces were not in the water. And I remember it was so cold because it was at March in 1945 that my body actually frozen. I had no feeling in my body. And then somebody pulled us out, and they cut the ropes and they took us someplace. And I remember having my first bath in like 2 years. And I remember feeling the warm defrosting, and I thought that was heaven. I must have been totally in heaven because I was having a bath. I haven't had a bath for so long that I just didn't even remember how delicious that was. And then we were put into a room with some other people. This is the first time we were hidden with more than just us, the 3 of us. These were mainly old men and old women because everybody else was already taken away and killed. And we were there. I was already very sick, running a high fever. And one morning the door opened and there was 2 soldiers and the owner of the apartment in the doorway. They were the Soviet army. We were liberated. And I remember one of the men discovered there were 2 little kids in the corner, and he came over there and he took something out of his pocket, broke it into half, and shoved it into our mouth, and it was a piece of chocolate. So I consider liberation with a piece of chocolate. Wow. So if anything bothers me, I take a bath and take a piece of chocolate. So make me feel better.
I think your story, thank you for sharing your story. I think
I have a picture of the monument in Budapest. This is the shoes which were showing the people who died over there.
Yes, it's so interesting, and we know it was so hard for you, but well, we have just a question from Ale Gomez that I think she can't open her microphone, but I will ask it, that it says, how do you remember that difficult period, being so young?
I have a photographic memory, number 1. Number 2, I am dyslexic, so from a very early age, I had trained myself to memorize everything visually. So I can describe you the colors, the shapes, the textures of everything. I may not know the dates very well because of the numbers, I get all mixed up. But I am also a mother, a grandmother, a hospital administrator, and a practicing artist. I paint, sculpt, do ceramics, and I'm a silversmith. This is one of the pieces I made.
Beautiful. Thank you, Eva. Thank you for that. I think it's amazing that you as a girl remember all this. And okay, we are almost done. Thank you everyone that it has been here for this long. We just have like 2 other participations, but thank you, Eva, for sharing your story. It's so valuable to us. So Isaac, I give you the microphone.
Yes, we are going to talk when we are going to hear Zognish Kemol as du gehst dem letzten Weg. For those who don't understand, it says, never say you are going on your last way. Yes? This is the song that became the hymn of the partisans, leaders, and fighters against the Nazis. So, and we're going to hear it with a very interesting group by the group of Patmos, the orchestra and chorus of this of the group of the Pastor Felipe Garcia. Now we heard Anna, her son, her daughter, and we're going to hear this song, and that it's an hymn for all the Jewish people around the world and for all the world about fighting against injustice in every place.
Well, thank you so much for that video that was sent by an orchestra here in Mexico, as Isaac said. And now, well, the last participation we have, I think it's from Henry Slucky, that he's also a Holocaust survivor, and he's going to read for us a poem. So, okay, you can talk now.
Okay. Thank you very much. I especially thank Samantha and my cousin Isaac. And before I read the poem, I just want to make a comment, very short comment, that it is thanks to rescuers that we have survivors of the Holocaust. Had it not been for rescuers, none of us would have survived. Refugees are not criminals, but refugees are victims of injustice.
Exactly.
And finally, to the phrase that you've heard frequently today, never again, I always add to anyone, anywhere. Never again to anyone, anywhere. The poem I'm going to read is one that is iconic for Passover, which we'll be celebrating not too long in the not too distant future. It was written by another cousin of mine, Bynum Heller, and it uses the symbolism of the Passover story and ties it to the Warsaw Ghetto uprising in April of 1943 on the eve of Passover. In English, it's entitled Pesach Has Come to the Ghetto Again by Bynum Heller. Pesach has come to the ghetto again. The wine has no grape, the matzah no grain. But the people anew sing the wonders of old, the flight from the Pharaoh so often retold. How ancient the story, how old the refrain. The windows are shuttered, the doorposts are concealed. The Seder goes on, and fiction and fact are confused into one. Which is myth and which is real? Come all who are hungry, invites the Haggadah. The helpless, the aged, the starving in fear. Come all who are hungry, and the children sleep famished. Come all who are hungry, and tables are bare. Pesach has come to the ghetto again, and shuffling shadows shift stealthily through like convert conversos in rack-ridden Spain, seeking retreat from the God of the Jews. But these are the shards, the shattered remains of the 10,000s whom Moses led out of their bondage, driven to ghettos again, where dying's permitted, but protest is not. From Holland, from Poland, from all Europe's soil, be crippled and beaten, the remnant has come. And there they sit, weeping, plundered, despoiled, and 50 families has dwindled to one. Pesach has come to the ghetto again. The lore-laden words of the Seder are said, and the cup of the prophet Elijah awaits, but the angel of death has intruded instead. As always, the Nazi snarls his commands. As always, the words sharpened up and precise. Who shall live and who shall die this Passover night? But no more will the Jews to the slaughter be led. The truculent jibes of the Nazis are past, and the lintels and doorposts tonight will be red with the blood of free Jews who will fight to the last. Pesach has come to the ghetto again, and neighbor to neighbor the battle pledge gives. The blood of the Nazi will flow in the ghetto so long as one Jew in the ghetto still lives. In the face of the Nazi, no fear, no subjection. In the face of the Nazi, no weeping, no wincing, only the hatred the wild satisfaction of standing against him and madly resisting. Listen how death walks abroad in the fury. Listen how bullets lament in their flight. See how our history writes end to the story with death heroic this Passover night.
Thank you so much, Henry, for that beautiful poem. And we are expecting to interview you soon too for knowing your story. Thank you so much for those words. That means a lot for us coming from you. So thank you so much for your participation. And we are going, we want to end this meeting lighting up a candle. Well, I know we didn't say this, so don't worry if you don't have a candle, but Isaac and me, we are going to have a candle here in memory of all the victims, maybe the people who can put your cell phone with the flash, you know, as a candle. But yes, now the thing we want to do is to open the microphones, and if you know the name of some a victim of the Holocaust. Obviously, if you have relatives that perished there, or you know a name of a victim, even if it's Anna Frank, if you don't know anyone else, we want to do not a minute of silence, but a minute of saying the names of the victims to honor them. So, okay, I gave the permission to everyone to turn on your microphone, so you can say the name if you want. So 1, 2, and 3.
96% of my
Bela Stuhlman in memory of Jacob Stuhlman.
Romo
In memory of
In memory, Shapiro Anna.
Lester Seidenberg.
Memory of Stuhlman family. Okay.
Aus Weissmann.
Memory of 36 members of the family.
Bueno.
Freundlich.
Ana Maria Pravda. Primo Levi.
memory of 96% of my family.
En memoria de Joaquín Cortillo, uno de los expulsados y muertos en Auschwitz-Birkenau, con 32 años, agricultor de Valencia.
¿Qué? En memoria de mis tíos y abuelos, de parte de mis padres. ¿Okay? A la memoria de...
Prenden y dicen en memoria.
Ok.
Anita.
¿Alzar la mano?
No.
Katia, con todo gusto están oyéndola.
Ok, a la memoria de Cecil y Yankel Hellman también.
No.
Thank you so much, everyone that has said a name. I think it's so important.
De la familia Livinia y Schurman.
Thank you, gracias.
En memoria de Beatrix Steiner.
En memoria de la familia Polak Medres. ¿Quién? ¿Cómo le digo? ¿Cómo lo hago para que se vea? ¿Eh?
Thank you. Thank you for this special. Oh,
ver,
Eva.
Lo puedes prender tu micrófono, madre.
Gracias
a
vos.
Repítelo.
Gracias a ustedes.
Eva wants to say something. Go ahead.
May I share something?
Yes, of course.
Congratulations. If you ever have a chance to go to Israel.
Moshe.
Gracias, Maya. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Eva. Sorry.
If you ever have a chance to go to Israel and to Yad Vashem, the most incredibly moving memorials of all, is a memorial to the children who died during the Holocaust, 1.5 million children. You get in from bright sunshine into complete darkness, and all you see is the sky. Sorry, full of stars that are blinking. And there is a video, an audio that goes all the time that runs. Arthur Rosenblum, 6 years old. Sarah Rosenblatt, 3 months. And all day long that tape goes. And all you do, you stand there in the darkness, scintillating stars, and you listen to this litany of names all day long. It is tremendously moving.
Thank you, Eva. Yes, and that's why we wanted to say today. So, well, we're just finishing this, but Isaac, you're going to say something about a book or something. Go ahead.
No, Mario Sinai, we were talking about the resistance and the people who were not Jews and they helped others to survive. Please, Mario, if you are there, please just tell us about your book a little bit.
Bueno, mi último libro es Rescatar a los Rescatadores, que relata historias de judíos que salvaron judíos, que en muchos de los casos quedaron totalmente en el olvido. Entonces, gracias, Isaac, por mencionarlo. Judíos que salvaron judíos, un tema que también tenemos que rescatar. Y última palabra, si quisiera recordar también los 2 historiadores más importantes del siglo XX. Meir Balaban murió de hambre en el gueto de Varsovia y Simón Duvnov fue fusilado en el bosque de Rúmbula en Riga. Los 2 historiadores más importantes del siglo XX.
Gracias.
Miriam
Thank you
Feldman.
so much, Mario. Okay, before that, I just wanted to, so many people is going. I have to invite you to something, and then Miriam will talk. Okay, so
Miriam Feldman wants to talk. It's all right.
Well, I just want to put here my, oh my God, no, my contact. If you want to contact me, that's my email. Those are our social media. The Voice of the Silent is my project, and also in Instagram, and also diariojudío.com, that we have these interviews and the invitations there. But I want all of you, well, thank you for being in all this event. I think it was long, but it was beautiful. And I want to invite you to next Saturday. Actually, we have here Lily and Otto Kladensky, Lily couple. We have them here in the meeting, and we're going to interview Lily couple. She's 95 years and she's in Costa Rica. She's a survivor from Terezin, from Czech Republic. And we also have a new documentary about her life. So this meeting also is going to be bilingual. So if you speak English or Spanish, you can be there next Saturday, February 6th. And you can find the information in Diario Judío and the Voice of the Silence, because we don't have the link of Zoom yet, but you are so invited. Thank you so much. So, okay, the last thing is that Miriam wants to say something and then we are done.
Well, I just want to congratulate you, Samantha. Really, you are amazing. And Isaac, you are also amazing. And thank you for this wonderful and meaningful event. And in the name of all the people who died in the Holocaust or the survivors, I would like to remember them, and never again will happen this terrible time. Thank you, and I see you in Instruments of Hope, Instrumentos de la Esperanza.
Thank you, Miriam. Isaac, go.
All right. I want just to congratulate and thank everybody who made this possible. Sam Rodriguez, her mother Alejandra del Rio, her grandmother Katia, Marcos from Spain, who was helping, Leonor, who was translating from Spanish to English and English to Spanish, doing a great labor.
Sorry?
Lorena, sorry. Lorena, sorry, Mario, who was participating and helping us, and all the survivors that were with us, and all the other people, Pastor Gilberto Rocha, Ana Garcia, and all who made this possible. Thank you for this. It was incredible. It was something, like we told at the beginning, different from what is happening around the world, and I think it's unique, this opportunity. Thanks, Samantha, for doing this possible, and for all your job with all this interview in the voice of the silence. It's incredible. Please share and with everybody you know, because we have to keep the memory alive, and we have to be doing everything never happen, so never happen again, something like this, not only with the Jewish people, so only with all around the world, and with any people around it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and bye-bye. You can turn on your camera and microphone and say bye. Thank you so much,
Gracias,
everyone.
hasta luego.
Bye.
Thank you so
Your
much.
Bye
Bye.
Muchas gracias, Lorena. Muchas gracias por
Congratulations,
todo.
Eva, for your birthday, and Johnny that just turned 95 years.
Bye, Sammy.
Shalom,
Felicidades,
shalom,
Sammy.
Thank you.
Felicidades,
Shalom
Sammy.
to
Gracias.
everybody.
Thank you.
Tu tío Alfonso,
Shalom
felicidades.
to everybody.
Bye.
to everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Also, adiós, señor Willy. Gracias por estar aquí escuchándonos.
todos.
Señor Willy,
Bye. Hasta
lo
luego.
adoro.
Hola, Maya.
Ay, no.
Un gusto.
Hasta luego, maestra Susana.
Nos vemos mañana, Maya.
Te hablo.
Hola. Nos vemos. Hasta la
Bye,
próxima.
Johnny.
Hasta la
Bye,
próxima.
Henry. Bye, Maya.
Felicidades y
Bye,
hasta la
everyone.
próxima.
Bye, Eva. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Johnny.
Bye.
Bye. Te dije que ver. Bye, Didi, bye. Bye.
Me quiero ir, pues no.
Hasta luego, Andrea.
Qué honor.
Bye.
Cuídense. Bye.
Ya, descuéntale.
Saludos, Anita.
Adiós.
Susana.
Adiós.
Adiós.
Adiós. ¿Siguen ahí?
Moshe, le voy.
Moshe. ¿Sí? ¿Qué dice?
No, pero es que
Bueno, Isaac, solo tú puedes acabar la reunión, pero sí, Lorena, muchísimas gracias.
Lorena,
Excelente.
fabulosa.
Ya lo hice para
Sí.
quitar, pero no se sale.
Es un trabajo muy complicado traducir, ¿eh? Y muy cansado.
Bye, Sam. Thank you.
Bye, Eva.
Mentalmente
gracias.
es duro, muy duro.
Bye, Isaac.
Muchísimas gracias. Muchas gracias,
Muchísimas
Lorena.
gracias, en serio, bendiciones.
Gracias a
Bye.
todos. Gracias, Marcos, también por toda tu ayuda. Gracias a tu mamá, Sam. Gracias.
Sí.
Creo que quedó interesante.
Muy interesante, la verdad. Para el recuerdo, para verlo.
Sí,
otra vez.
claro.
Toda una historia hacer esto. O sea, tuviste siete sobrevivientes, 10 jóvenes, 3 embajadores,
Y 2 profesores.
una nieta de perpetrador, o sea, no creo que sea fácil haberlo juntado todos amantes y fue un éxito.
Muchas gracias, Marcos, en serio también. Bueno, Isaac, pero Marcos por
Ya
estar
ves.
ahí también al pendiente y todo, pero
Ya ves,
muchísimas gracias.
las gracias a vosotros por haber el esfuerzo y dedicación. Son muchas horas de trabajo.
Claro.
Adiós.
Bye, Maya.
Nos vemos mañana, ¿eh? Mañana.
Nos vemos mañana, Marcos.
Preparo el café. Sin café.
Si sigue por ahí también, Pastor Gilberto, muchísimas gracias.
Ana también, a Daniela, a todos.
Bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye.
Bye.